It is the most wonderful time of the year for so many, and it's also the most frustrating time of the year for a bunch of home sellers who didn't move their home. This is the St. George Real Estate Morning Drive. This is your doubleheader Christmas and New Year's Day episode. We're running this literally on both days, December 25th and January 1st. So if you have to sneak away from today's show, you can circle back and grab it on New Year's Day. And the question that we asked, who listens to a show on Christmas? But I think there will be a lot of people who still listen to the radio.
That do, yeah.
I have my newest favorite, let's get in the frame, Christmas sweater. It says up to snow good. Did you get what they did there? Up to snow good.
I like it.
It's got a pouch where you can put your soda or, I don't know, your wine bottle, if that's what you're into, in the front.
That sweater brings back some good old days.
Yeah. Jesse, yeah. You don't do that anymore.
I don't do that anymore, but back in the day.
That would have been a handy.
Pouches for anything that, I could store.
Any can. Yep. Any bottle, a flask.
Yep.
Guys, 20 plus years sober.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 21?
21.
21-year chip, man.
Yep, 21.
Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being bold. People, it's funny. There was a long time I know where you were hesitant.
I would not share that for a long time. There was a lot of shame for me about my past.
Yeah.
But I'm realizing that it's what happened.
Yeah. People love great recovery stories, and you are a great recovery story. I've said it, and we're going to get into our helping some sellers who didn't move their home this year, and they're
help them recover.
And they're helping them recover. It's going to be a 12-step meeting for sellers. But yeah, you're a great recovery story. One of the great guys in real estate and professionals and sell a lot of real estate. Guys, I'm Jeremy Larkin. I'm chatting with my good friend.
Jesse Paul.
Yep, Jesse Paul, P-O-L-L, like doll, but spelled like pole.
My wife can get away with saying, doll reminds with Paul.
Yep. Jesse's
because she is a doll.
Yep, she is. 10 years she is. And she still puts up with you. 10 years Jesse and I've put up with each other.
Yep.
Guys, it is Christmas, New Year's Day, 2025. It's so interesting. I was at Red Cliffs Mall last week. I love, and I'm not being funny. I love the mall at Christmas time. I literally love it. I get there last week, and I go cruising through, and I go into Al's Sporting Goods, and I was looking to purchase. Don't tell my wife, but she won't hear this until a pair of boots. These really cool boots, and I went into Al's.
It'll be over by the time she hears this.
But I get in there, and there are Zan and Chad Stevens. Zan and Chad are great people. Chad works with Split Rock Homes. He's their remodel. He runs their entire remodeling division.
Okay.
Past clients of ours, we help them sell their home in Morningside Estates. We have 20-minute conversation in the shoe department. I leave there, I run into another friend. I leave there, I run into another friend. Between Al's and Barnes & Noble, I love Barnes & Noble. I spent an hour and a half in the mall.
Yeah.
I bought 2 books and a pair of shoes. The smell, Jesse, the smell of the roasted nuts that they do, the pecans, is that what they are? Or almonds. It's almonds in the mall. Santa was there. Elsa from Frozen was there. Kids were lined up. Honestly,
I need to go check that out. I haven't been to the mall for a long time.
It was a thing of absolute beauty. We want these places to be busy.
Yeah.
You want the mall to be busy. There's nothing worse than going to here's the funny part. You go to the store, you want it to be quiet like Costco because it's easier. But there are places like the mall that you wonder where the energy is when it's empty, right? So Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year. And I want to talk about something. And I think that this is really fascinating, Jesse. We've been at this for 20 years. And we have helped hundreds. Now, by the way, we've helped 2,100 clients move. Now, we've helped multiple hundreds of sellers who fell in the worst time of the year dismay.
Yeah.
I want to share something. In the last 12 months, we pulled this data before Christmas. So this is about, a week old when you get to New Year's Day. there were, and you can see the number in the right there. How in the Iron and Washington, we work Iron and Washington County, predominantly Washington. How many homes closed, Jesse, on the multiple listing?
4,933.
5,000 homes. Isn't that interesting?
5,000.
4,933. 4,933 homes. And I want to tell you something about them. 4,933 sellers had their home on the multiple listing service from $58,000 for a mobile home on a rented lot in Hurricane to
clear up to
drum roll, please. There will be some zeros.
Ooh,
$9.154 million. $9,100,000, nearly $10 million home. Okay.
Wow.
7,000,005, 7,000,005, 7,000,003, 5,8. Okay. 4,934. Oh, how funny. It changed. 4,934 homes closed.
Oh, because another one just closed.
Yeah. Now, here's what's so interesting about that. Before we talk about the next number, would you call that a decent year?
Yeah, especially for such a small community.
Are people buying and selling homes?
They definitely are.
Okay. Guess what this does not include, Jesse? This does not include any
land.
of the... Well, it doesn't include land.
Or any builders that didn't.
It doesn't include any land. So, guys, there would have been quite a number of land units sold.
And builders that sold homes
off
outside
market,
of the
outside
MLS.
of the multiple listing. I would say...
Another 1,000 at least.
I would say that 7,500 pieces of real estate changed hands. Okay.
Yeah, I'll bet that's a real number.
Hey, it's a wonderful time of year for those folks. Here's the problem. 2,635 sellers canceled their listing, meaning they gave up,
Yep.
or fired their agent because they were fed up, or the listing expired because they put it on the market for 3 to 6 to 12 months.
Yep.
Jesse, when someone puts their home on the market, and by the way, the home didn't sell, more than 50% of the listings. Now listen, we don't know how many of these came back to the market. More than 50% of the sellers, I've had this in my info packet for years. 50% of homes don't sell in the first listing period.
That's true.
Over 50. In this case, 52, 53%. And so, Jesse, when a seller puts their home on the market, I have a question. Do they even for a second, and I think it's a lot like divorce. How many people get divorced and the day they get married, they're like, cool, so let's give this thing a run as long as we can and then we'll get divorced.
Yeah, no.
Who says that?
Nobody.
Okay. Who puts their home on the market? Okay, I want to talk about, and we're going to talk about something called the emotional cycle of change. Yesterday, I was teaching, and Jesse knows this. I was teaching, well, it won't be yesterday by the time you guys, it's the Christmas, or New Year's Day.
Yeah, last week.
I was teaching a group of realtors giving a class. And the emotional cycle of change is something that we're going to talk about this with selling a home. When we start a new endeavor like putting our home up, we meet a realtor, we interview realtors, we want to hire the best agent, and we want the one who will give us the most and charge us the least, and all the things that people do. And you're so excited, and they come out and they put a sign in the yard. Yep. Like a marriage, does any seller think this probably won't work and we'll have to start over?
Nope.
What percentage of sellers had to start over?
Over 50%.
Over 50% of the listings hit the market in 2025 failed to sell, or they had to go for a second term, or they hired a new agent.
Yep.
If that's not maddening, I don't know what is. and people don't even think about this. And so I want to talk about what's happening. Now, here's an interesting thing. We did some math. And Jesse, we only get to brag once. But out of morbid curiosity, I said, I wonder what percentage. There are 2,000. So guys, the 80-20 rule. Does everyone understand the 80-20 rule? That 80% of outcomes are produced by 20% of causes.
Yep.
So in real estate, 95% of homes are sold by 5% of the realtors.
Yeah.
There are over 2,000. There are 2,500 licensed agents in Iron, Washington County. Okay, listen to this. There are 2,500 licensed agents. If 5,000 homes sold, that would mean that every agent sold 2 homes. Mm-hmm. Well, this is not true.
No, it's not. We
actually sold 3.4% of the homes. The Larkin Group actually closed 160. The data says that every agent sold 2 homes. 2,500 agents, 5,000 sales. This is the only bragging we're going to do because I was curious. I said, I wonder what percentage we sold. We sold 168 homes. Guys, here's what that means. Disproportionately, we sold 84 times the real estate of if you were to average this out. So why? Okay, why did 5,000 homes sell? Why, Jesse, did we sell 168 of them? There are three. I want to talk about something. If your home didn't sell and you're thinking about what's next, you don't need to call us. Call Ghostbusters. Just kidding. It's like, I just wanted to be silly. You're going to need to do something. So, Jesse, people have three options when their home doesn't sell. Give up entirely. Yes?
Yep. They can give up.
Hire a new agent.
Yep.
Try again with the same agent. Okay. Regardless, what we're going to do on today's show, our Christmas and New Year's Day program, is we're going to give you some really good guidance. And then if you want to have a conversation with us and figure out what we're doing, there are three categories, three main buckets, causes of a home to sell, kind of, right? Okay.
Yep.
Main factors.
Yep.
There are 11 elements within the three. We're not going to, 9 elements. We're not going to get into the 9 elements today. We're going to talk about the three main factors. If we meet, if somebody calls us and wants to talk about it, we'll actually audit your home, your listing, and figure out what happened with the 9 elements. Okay.
Yeah.
Jesse, what are the three main factors that cause a home to sell or not sell? Okay.
The first one, you've got your presentation. How does the home show? You know, how is the curb appeal? How is the condition? And those are all things that the seller has control over, right? The second thing is the promotion, the marketing.
Correct.
Right? How is it marketed? Were you talking to the right buyer? And the third one is pricing. Are you priced in a position to compete?
Here's what's interesting. I want you to give us, so this is beautiful. Thank you for setting this up. And I pulled it right up on the screen. I'm actually looking at a page from our home selling or seller experience book. We give this to every client that we meet with. And Jesse just did it. By the way, guys, Jeremy, Larkin, Jesse, Paul, Larkin Group, KW Realty. There are three main factors that we have influence over in selling your home. And then there are 9 elements that we would audit if we met with you. Well, the 3 factors are preparation, marketing, and pricing, right? Or that could be preparation, presentation, and pricing. We probably got to change it to presentation because that's 3 Ps. What about who's in office at the state level or at the federal level? Can we change? Nope. Can we swap out our president?
Nope.
Can we kick out the guy out of the Federal Reserve that we don't agree with? Nope. We can't do anything about that.
And I would even argue that if other homes are selling, those things don't even matter.
It's really simple.
Like if you got 5,000 homes that sold, or 7,000 when you include builders,
and gosh,
those things haven't stopped the market.
We literally walked 168 families across into the end zone with a home sale. You have 2,600 homes that didn't sell. Holy crap, right? So there are 3 factors. They are the preparation, the presentation, and the pricing. Now, there are, of these 3, I want to share something that sellers don't always appreciate. And I'm going to tell you why before. Agents are trained to tell you the following. Can anybody seen The Wizard of Oz? I have. You know what happens? They finally pull the curtain back and who's there? Was it this big booming voice, this like godlike creature? Is this a little chubby guy?
Oh, that's funny.
And he was talking the wizard into this big microphone.
Yeah.
Let me pull the curtain back for sellers. Sellers meet with agents and they go, tell me about your marketing plan. Tell me why your marketing plan is better than everybody else's. Here's the problem. Jesse, have you ever stepped in dog poop?
Oh, yeah. Barefooted even. That was fun.
Oh, man, that was messy. You stepped in it as a seller when you asked the question because the problem is that there's an industry of people that were taught to tell you that they had the best marketing plan. Do you see how you walked right into it? And the problem is that you actually avoided the 2 primary factors.
Yep.
And which are not the presentation, not the marketing. They're actually what, Jesse?
Preparation.
And pricing. The problem is that if you had hired a professional who would not let you wriggle out of preparing your home,
Yep.
and who would not let you wriggle out of pricing it correctly, your home would actually have been sold.
Yeah.
Jesse, does it require 60 to 90? The average home sells 60 days in St. George, 65. Does it require 65 days to find a buyer?
Nope. In fact, when we start really looking deeper into the data, and this is the majority, I'm going to dare say 97% of those 5,000 sold within 30 days of hitting a certain price.
This is so interesting.
That's a bold statement, I know, but I'll bet if I started digging, that would be true.
Correct.
Most of them within 2 weeks, but I'm going to give 30 days because there's going to be some that took that long.
Yeah. It's kind of fascinating. People will get frustrated when they call a plumber and they'll say, a plumber came into my house and I can't believe it. The guy charged me $130 and he was only there for like 15 minutes. You weren't paying for his time. You were paying for the years of experience that led him to walk in to discover your problem and solve it in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So when you hire agents, I can't believe we used did you step in dog poop analogy on the show, but we did. It's phenomenal.
Even barefoot.
Even barefoot. Sellers walk into it because they put agents on a stage and they go, okay, Jesse, so I met with 2 other agents. I want to know what you're going to do differently to market my home that they didn't. You've walked into this industry. Guys, every industry has a dark side. Every industry. Do you know that doctors who follow a Hippocratic oath that says that they've solemnly sworn to uphold your health? Do you know there's a dark side of the medical industry?
Oh, yeah.
The dark side of the medical industry is they want to give everyone a pill.
Pharmaceuticals, yeah.
Yeah, everyone a pill. Listen to me. Every industry has a dark side.
Everyone.
So here's the question: is I think what you're trying to do is hire a professional who doesn't play in the dark side. So if we can pull the curtain back, the Wizard of Oz, there are 3 main factors that cause homes to sell. If you picked up our show, 2,600 homes did not sell this year, at least the first time. 2,600 sellers, 2,600 families put their home on the market, and then it expired. The listing failed.
Yep.
Yet 5,000 families or builders or investors did move. This week, the week of the show, I helped Mary sell her home in Legacy at Southgate so she could downsize and move in with her kids. I helped Danya. She lives in Atlanta. She's an investor. Sell her in rental property. Mm-hmm. I helped another downsizer, Ken, move to Ovation.
Yep.
The stories go on and on. So when you go to sell your home and it doesn't work, there's only one question there's one question you should ask immediately. Did anybody else sell their home?
Yeah.
And you're going to find out that 5,000 people did this year. Mm-hmm. And then here's what happens. We have to dive in and go on a little audit. And
what actually happened?
Yeah.
Why didn't it sell?
And so there are 9 elements that we audit when we meet with people. And we go, okay, cool. Let's just literally hold up our checklist and say, did we hit the 9 or was it glaring? Jesse, have you ever talked to sellers who, when you met with them and they were frustrated, they said, well, we got to be honest, we knew our house was overpriced?
Nope. It's always somebody else's fault or the buyer's fault or the agent's fault or the market's fault and one of the other biggest, I think, challenges that we do to ourselves or sellers do is they move when there's no motivation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So if I don't really have to move, it makes it hard for you.
Yeah.
Because there's really nothing pushing you to figure out where the market's at for your house.
Yeah.
Or this other one, well, I need this much to get to where I'm going.
Yeah.
And the buyer doesn't really care what you need. They care what's a fair value for your house. So those are 2 big things that we do to ourselves, and I see all the time, and then end up being frustrating for the seller as somebody else's fault. But because they didn't want to talk about pricing in the beginning, they want what they wanted, they end up frustrated.
Caleb, how are we doing on time?
They end up sad.
5 minutes. Jesse, The reason I asked him this is, guys, our show's brought to you by Blue Form Media. If you want to put on a podcast, they're the people.
Yeah, they do a good job.
I think we bring this home and put a bow on it since it's Christmas.
Yep.
Okay. We've painted the pain. Now, by the way, in every great story, there's pain.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about the hero and the guide. I want to talk about what will happen if you would like us, for instance, to come out and look at your home. Okay. Realtors love to paint themselves as the hero. Realtors are the guide. The client is the hero.
Mm-hmm.
The client is the one with the courage. If you look at all the great stories, like the Karate Kid, it was who? It was Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
And if we look at, Star Wars, it was Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
If we look at The Lord of the Rings, it's Gandalf. The guide always helps the hero have courage. Oh man, I literally just got the chills.
And it is courageous.
I don't think I've had the chills on a radio show in like 2 years.
And it is courageous, right? For a homeowner to sit down and really look at the reality of their situation.
Correct. So I'm gonna put a big old Christmas bow on this thing. Wow, that was a fun moment. Okay, so Gandalf in Lord of the Rings helps Frodo have the courage to carry the ring all the way through and throw it back in the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Yoda helps Luke go back and basically fight Darth Vader, formerly his father. Right. In all of these stories, Mr. Miyagi helps Daniel, right, have the courage to go fight the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
What will happen is this. First of all, we're going to come and we're going to meet with you and we're going to walk through your home. This is very similar to our legacy living downsizing process. If you call us, we're going to have a nice conversation by phone. We're going to ask you to commit or sign nothing. We're going to meet at your home. Step one. We're going to walk through the property and we're going to find out, let us see the home. While we're there, we're going to ask you some really important questions. And Jesse, those really important questions really come up to this. And the most important question we're going to ask in our final 3 minutes is this. I'm actually going to share this on our screen. Okay, it's called the 50-cent tour. We're going to ask you the following question. Why do you want to move? What's important about that? Would there be any reason to just stay put? Is right now even the right time?
Right.
Can you imagine a realtor would ask a client that? Step two is we're going to, the answer is, I have a really compelling emotional reason to move. We're going to meet at our office and we're going to talk numbers. We're going to come right to our office in downtown St. George. We will complete a full home equity report and we will share that with you. And we will tell you realistically what a home will sell for. We will talk about home preparation. Mm-hmm. We're the guide. You're the hero. We're going to guide you to prepare your home to sell it for the most money so you don't have to do this again.
I would dare say, and this is a lot of times people will go with the happiest or the most positive. I want the guy that's willing to talk to me about, man, what's plan B if this doesn't work? When
you go to the doctor and you have
that guy
and you have a serious illness, you're like, hey doc, give it to me straight. I got to know what I'm dealing with.
Yeah, that's the guy that really cares about you.
Correct. Step 4, when we've handled these things, we will guide you through the entire process. You may not need any home prep. Yeah. You might have had a marketing and pricing problem. Your home's digital debut. This is where we have the very best photographer, videographer in Washington County take care of that part of the job. Mm-hmm. We'll make sure the toilet lids are closed, toilet seats are closed. We'll handle the marketing and the showings and the negotiations. We will provide you feedback all along the way. We have a professional listing coordinator. And this is from our Legacy Living Blueprint. Your legacy moves on. You close the chapter. And you move to where you need to go. Final minute. Jesse, how do people reach us if they want to have a conversation?
You can either go to gostgeorge.com or just Google or ChatGPT, the Larkin Group.
Yeah, chat the Larkin Group.
Chat the Larkin Group.
Yeah, the Larkin Group. Warning, we might talk you out of moving. We might say, maybe this isn't the time. But I think that's where we have to start, guys. You're the hero as a home seller. We're the guide. That's it. Guys, Jeremy Larkin, Jesse Paul with the Larkin Group, wishing you an incredible Christmas, a very happy New Year, And if you want to visit, we look forward to that. Over and out.
Thanks for having us.